You know, everybody goes through a storm sometimes.
God is, and Rainier Avenue Radio World have a new address. We're now located at 4916 Rainier Avenue South in Columbia City, 98118. God is still loving on your community, being a blessing and meeting the needs of the people. Don't miss any of our amazing shows. Your favorite community radio station. Tune in and come on down and get some free food and let us continue to love on you. Don't forget to tune in. See you soon for free food and free entertainment with God Is and Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
Different rules apply when it gets this late. You know what I mean? It's like after hours.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
Hello, I'm an unpaid spokesman for DJ Sotovaci. I'd like to invite you to listen to his free-form music show. It's popular music the way it was never intended to be heard. Whatever gets you through the night, late nights, here on Rainier Avenue Radio .world.
Whatever gets you through the night.
This is an important message about coronavirus. With coronavirus still spreading, those who are most likely to get seriously ill must take extra precautions. You are at a higher risk for getting seriously ill if you are over 65 or if you have any serious underlying medical conditions, like heart disease, chronic lung disease, like asthma, diabetes, or if you're undergoing cancer treatment. If you're at a higher risk for getting seriously ill, it's essential you take extra care to protect yourself. Stay home, avoid close contact with others, wash your hands frequently with soap and water for 20 seconds, disinfect frequently touched objects like doorknobs and light switches. The choices you make are critical, and their impact is significant.
Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is another episode of the spooky Halloween Real Estate and Money. My name is Tina from Bank of England.
Hi, I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Yes, and as you can see, it is Halloween season, and today is Halloween, so we got a very special show for you today. First of all, we're going to be talking about haunted houses, some real ones.
There's one behind me.
Yes, and there's one behind her. We're going to be talking about.
Look at, if I were those two kids, would you go to a house that had only windows flickering on the top of the house?
No, and with red floating eyes. No, I wouldn't do that.
I know.
So we're going to be.
I do have this. Look, this is my attire for today.
What is it? Oh, yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
It's
look at you.
A hoodie.
Yes.
That's all I can do.
Okay.
Okay. I tried to do the blood thing, but
but it wasn't working. Okay.
No.
Well,
I'm going to do the market updates for you. How's that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So hang on tight. Here we go.
Okay. Yes, and then we'll get to the fun part. All right. King County. Here we go with the updates for what is happening with the real estate market out there. Actively on the market, 273 homes went on the market last week. 189 went pending, and 305 sold at an average price of $1,102,000 versus last year it was $1,134,000. So it went down about 3%. And I'm not going to get into the individual days on the market and all that because, basically it's for homes to sell right now. I don't have current updates. It's the same figure as last week. But the homes are selling for about 100% of what the asking price is, and taking a little bit longer, but it's still very active. And days on the market indicates that it's still taking a while, but when things come on the market, it goes pending pretty quickly. All right, and then in Pierce County, we have 125 homes that got listed last week. 63 homes are pending, and 150 homes sold. And the average price was $555,000 compared to last year, $589,000. And then in Snohomish County, we have 119 homes that went active last week. 103 are pending, and 159 sold. So, still out there, the sellers are still getting their homes sold. People get out there, and we get in Snohomish County, the average price was $793,000, and last year it was $774,000. So it went up a little bit in that county. But everywhere else, it's still pretty active. Get out there and don't wait. It's still time. There's still time to get that tax break for the end of the year. So there you have it. That's our market update.
Great. So let's talk about something really scary. And that would be the mortgage rate update. That's really scary. So Dan, can you pull that up for us really quick? Let's talk a little bit about these interest rates. Now, as you can see, the interest rates, it looks like here in October 30th, the average rate, October 27th, the average 30-year fix is at 8.25. And if you back that up a week to October 17th, it's at 8.45. If you look at October 11th, the rates dipped down to a wonderful, luxurious 7.98. And on October 6th, it was at 8.34. So as you can see, the rates are starting to move, like that. They're trending upward. So I've got something else really I'd like to talk to people about here. It's another screen that I have here, and that is the 30-year fixed rate mortgage average history for the last 30 years or so. As you can see, the highest interest rates were October of 1981. The interest rate was at 17.70. 17.70. That's how high they went. And the other peak that they had was in 1980, March 4th, 1980. That was at 15.4. So if you go all the way down to where we are at current day prices, the rates being at 8.45. It's not as high as 17.44 or 15.4, but still 8.45, the national average, is pretty spooky. As you can see here, the history has gone where the interest rates have gone all the way up, and they start going down. Then now they're starting to trend back upward. So I would say this is a very good subject for Halloween because it is very, very scary. So if I were you out there, you don't want to look at this chart, and you don't want the charts to determine whether you buy a house or not, whether the interest rates are higher or lower, but really at 8.7. If you look at the last 30 years, the last 5 years actually was very, very low. So don't use the previous 5 years as an example of what the rates should be. As you can see by this chart right here, if you look at 8.45, and you look all the way back through 1970, 30 years ago, you can see that the rates actually comparable the last 30 years aren't that bad. So get off your high horse and go ahead and get a house, whether it's a higher interest rate or not. It's going to still be a good time. So thank you so much, Daniel.
Well, what's scary is that rental prices are up there, going up as well. And you're putting that money into someone else's pocket. That's scary.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, this is very true. So, like I said, the interest rates, unfortunately, you have mortgage interest. And mortgage interest, fortunately, actually is tax deductible if you talk to your CPA or your tax accountant. Even though the interest rates are higher, you'll have more of a tax deduction. So that's the only one caveat that is the bright light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk. Now we're off our most scariest subject. The interest.
But people don't forget, if you haven't already done so, property taxes due today. Make sure it's stamped for today's date.
Yes, that's
That's the last scary thing I have to say.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're in our holiday season. It is October 31st. It is Halloween, and we wanted to do something fun and lighthearted. So we're going to be talking about some haunted houses. Okay. We're going to talk about some haunted houses that you can actually buy for whatever reason. And I can tell you, I'm going to tell you later on what you can do if you are in an infestation of haunting activity, what you can do afterwards.
Hey, have you heard of any real life stories of someone experiencing a haunted, something scary, anything? I have a story, but
yes. Well, it's quite common. It's more common than people can think. My neighbors have experienced situations. When I moved into my new house in Centennial, it was visited. And so I had to get a shaman to come in and actually clear out my house. And we prayed and all this other kind of stuff. So it's actually more common than you think. There is the giant hauntings like you see on Poltergeist, the movie, but there are little hauntings that happen around the house. And sometimes it's negative energy. Sometimes you may have called or invited something in, so it's just something that you want to gauge if it's to a point where you're uncomfortable and you're scared to sleep at night or you're getting disturbed, So for me, myself, I went through a situation when I lived in Seattle. My parents lived in a house that was 1904, and it had guests coming in and out. I'm not talking physical guests. I'm talking about spiritual guests, And so we were, luckily I had a mother who was very, very Catholic and very, very much so into holy water. And she just, she blessed the house a lot of times and got rid of that. But, I actually experienced it more here in Colorado at my new house that I bought that I had to actually clear. Okay. So it is more problematic than people would assume.
Well, read what Daniel just said. I don't have my chat screen up. Do you have that?
He said he was visited by a cat ghost a couple of years ago while visiting his family for Thanksgiving. 3 nights in a row. Daniel, oh my gosh. Yeah, cat ghosts. That's pretty scary. That is pretty scary. It's an animal. You can't talk to it, Yeah, wow.
And I read a story. Here's a true story from a Windermere real estate agent in the area. In 2005, she took, and a friend of hers who was looking for a house, they went to a 2-story mansion on Lake Sammamish, went in and kind of were looking around. They heard music. Usually you come in, I always go, hello, anybody home? Just in case someone was there, or you yell out realtor. And she was doing that. She went in and her friend was with her. And they heard some music, like an old-fashioned type of piano playing.
Oh, no.
They followed the sound, went downstairs into the basement. There's a couple doors down into the basement, and it was still, they heard a lot of people, like a big party going on, and she kept yelling, realtor. And they just heard the party, glasses clinking, people laughing and celebrating, and she opened the last door and nothing. It got quiet all of a sudden, and opened the door. There was nothing behind there but an old-fashioned piano.
Oh, wow.
So she turned around and quickly ran out of the house. She and her friend, she had a witness that this actually happened. And now I don't know if I want to go anywhere by myself.
No. Did they sell the house or what happened?
It didn't say. It was a story that was, just on Seattle Magazine or something like that. Didn't say. She didn't care.
Oh my God.
She just wanted to get out of there.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Wow. So tell us. So you've got some houses you want to show.
Yes, I have. Daniel, do you have that PowerPoint? There are some real haunted houses in the area in the state of Washington, and I hope he's got it. Let's start with the Walker Ames house in Port Gamble. Is he saying anything on the chat screen? Does he have that?
No, he never got it.
He never got it. Oh. No way. Really? Check it again. Check your email again. Anyway, there's a house where paranormal activities. You know where Port Gamble is?
Yes, I do.
By Hood Canal, that way. Since the 1950s. And on TV, ZMD, the zombie of mass destruction, and show Squatter is filmed out there.
Okay.
Looks pretty nice. I'm looking at it right now. And it's a big home in Port Gamble. And then the next house I had was actually the Washington State Governor's Mansion in Olympia.
Oh, wow.
Supposedly haunted by a young boy ghost. It was built around 1908. Nice, beautiful mansion. And there is a ghost haunting that home right now. And we know who lives there. So I don't know how many people have seen that ghost. Anyway, and then we go to Puyallup. There's a Meeker Mansion. And apparently the founding pioneers of Puyallup, Ezra and Eliza Meeker, haunt that place. They can smell, people have smelled perfume and stuff like that. And apparitions, walking around the hallways. And then one of my favorite places, Chateau Saint Michel in Woodinville.
Oh my goodness. Oh, my lights just turned off. Hold on. Scary. Keep going.
Yeah. Chateau Saint Michel haunted. This was the site of the Stimson Mansion. So Stimson is a huge, big founding family of Seattle. Right, Stimson Green Mansion's up on Capitol Hill, but the Stimson Mansion out in Woodinville, apparently Mr. Stimson was having an affair with a servant, got that servant pregnant. She conveniently fell down the stairs and died, and her ghost haunts the place.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay.
Yes, and then the last real haunted house, Montgomery House in Kalama, Washington, is the subject of paranormal investigation, where they found thousands of Native American bones underneath the. This is a bed and breakfast.
Wow!
I will not be booking a stay there anytime soon, just in case one of those bones put themselves together and show up as a skeleton by my bedside. No, not doing it.
Oh, wow.
So those are the real haunted. I took 5 that I saw. There's something that came up, Shelburne Mansion. It was on TV, one of the evening local shows, and they talked about lovely, nice ghosts haunting that place. It's another Airbnb or bed and breakfast, something. And that's for real. People have seen apparitions, ghosts, what have you.
Yeah.
How about in your neck of the woods, any real haunted houses?
Well, there's a lot of haunted houses. There's one tour that I went on that was like October, several years ago, and it was very scary because it was like 9 houses up in a certain area of Denver. And I'm going to send you the link really quick to this ghost tour. And there were maybe 9 famous haunted houses of famous people here in Denver, and it's all within like a 3-block radius of haunted houses. And what was so sad about it or funny about it is that me and my daughter went, and this right here, it says the #1 rated ghost tour in Denver. And you can get these even in Seattle, but we don't really need to go down so much, Daniel, but you can see there, it gets kind of spooky. But these tickets here, we went and we took some pictures of about 4 houses, and there were images in the pictures. People standing in the windows, people, bubbles everywhere, shadows and stuff in the pictures. So me and my daughter had to actually delete all the pictures. We didn't want anything following us home. So that is pretty scary. But there are ghost tours here in Denver. And it's just, and they're for real. They're real ghost tours. They're not something that, for whatever reason, something that you're going to go and it's fake. These are actual real tours. So there is evidence, V, that these tours, from historical
wow,
that you have now, they're real. I mean, they're real. So let's just talk a little bit about how do you know if you have if you're being haunted, if your house is haunted.
Okay.
So it's a real thing. So let me just go ahead and go through a list here of what I've got of 10 signs that your house is haunted. Number 1, you're experiencing strange, creeping feeling like somebody's watching you. So if you feel like somebody's watching you and there's nobody there, that could be something that you're feeling. Also, you have odors that inexplicably emerge from a localized area. Like there's a certain smell in a certain area that could be very foul or just very specific. Like maybe there's the cigar smoking in the middle of the living room in all times of the day, and nobody smokes cigars. So something like that. So odors are a good indication that you may be being visited. Weird sounds. So, you have weird sounds at night, walking, clonking, hitting, just sounds that are just abnormal that shouldn't be happening. So if you hear any type of strange sounds, that could be an indication. Also, if you're somewhere and you've got good electricity, but your lights start flickering. Your lights start flickering every now and then. You turn around and it turns on and off, and lights just inexplicably start turning on and off. That could be a sign. Also, there are frigidly cold areas of a room. So rooms that are normally heated, all of a sudden they become very, very cold, very, very fast. And there's no explanation for it. And it's just spots in the room, not the whole room. So that could be an indication. Also, if you have TVs or electronic devices and they turn on and off for whatever reason, the TV just turns on. Your phone just, starts ringing for no reason. There could be something there. And a lot of times here it says you have a peripheral ghost sighting. So you're sitting there, you see something walk by you, there's nothing there, but you see it out the side of your eye. You may want to check that out. Also, a very common thing that happens is you have missing objects. Then you put your car keys down. You put it down here. You swore you put it down there, and then you find it somewhere else, like on the rooftop. Or you put, what I'm talking about. You put your favorite earring somewhere, and you put it at the same spot, and all of a sudden it goes missing, and you find it by your computer downstairs in the basement. Things go missing, and sometimes it's a sign. Sometimes they're playing games with you, but when things start missing, it's not your age. It could be a visitor. You start having crazy dreams. Your dreams start coming either scary or somebody's talking to you in your dream, and you wake up and somebody was there. You get a strange feeling in your dream. So, and a lot of times you sleep and you can't move. You try to wake up and you can't move, like something's holding you down. That's a very strong indication that there could be a presence there with you. Yes. And the last thing here that I want to say that could really, really tip you off is if, you've got an animal, your animals start acting strange. Now, dogs in a second will start barking at something out of nowhere. They will just start barking, and you better believe them because they are protecting you. I know there are some traditions, like in the Russian tradition, they take cats to new homes, and the cats actually can see into the spirit world, and they will chase a ghost down. So a lot of times your cats or your dogs are a very good indication that there's somebody in the room or there's a presence. So if your dog starts barking like crazy at the corner of the room, don't hit your dog. Don't tell your dog to shush. Your dog is warning you.
How about Miss Linda, Daniel? She a good Ghostbuster?
Yeah. So, yes, we'll see. Okay. So, there are different things, that show, if you just get a creepy feeling, things are being misplaced. In my situation, somebody was washing the dishes while I was upstairs. Now, that wasn't a ghost I necessarily want to get rid of, but, somebody watching when it's just creepy. Somebody woke me up the side of my bed, stood next to my bed and woke me up right before my alarm did. That helpful, but nonetheless,
what do you do? Do you scream? Do you run out of the house?
A lot of times this happens. A lot of the time when these things happen, you don't get really, really scared. You're just like, oh my gosh, somebody woke me up. It was that person over there woke me up. So you're really in your emotional state, and then you wait. You say afterwards, wait a second, who was I yelling at? Who woke me up? And so usually at the time when you see something float, you're like, oh wow, something floated across the room, and then you sit and go, oh my gosh, something just floated across the room. So a lot of times it's when you see it happen, you just dismiss it. You don't look for it. So it's there. So now what do you do, V, if you do encounter all these strange occurrences and you think you are being visited? I have friends right now who say they wake up and there's children at the foot of their bed, or there's an old lady at the foot of their bed, or they're walking and downstairs they hear voices. That's another indication. They say if you hear voices talking to you and all this kind of stuff, you hear whisperings, like somebody's just whispering, that's not you. Okay. That's not anybody else in the room. That's another indication. But what should you do if you should encounter something like this? Now, I looked on the internet. I looked, Andrew, what you should do, and like Vogue magazine said this, and Spirituality said this, and then the Catholic Church said that, so there's all different things. They say stuff like smudging your house, they say stuff like removing old broken objects. So if you have stuff that's in your house that's old, like sometimes mirrors, that are old that you get from the from Goodwill or somewhere. You think it's it's antique. You bring it home. There may be something attached to that. So get rid of old things that are in your house. If you bring in stuff of the occult, like a Ouija board, you're just asking for business, okay? You're asking, you pick up a cell phone, which is basically into the spirit world on a Ouija board, that is going to cause some activity, okay? So if you have anything that's paranormal, satanic, or whatever, you're just inviting these things in, so that's the thing you want to do. You want to clear out anything that may be not of your belief or something that's very negative, murder books, things that are horrific. You want to make sure those things are out of your house. You want to make sure that your house is clean too, so a lot of good flowing positive energy can flow through it. Now, if you have invited something in or what have you, and you are religious, you can call a Catholic priest, you can call an exorcist, you can call your pastor, you can call the church and report it. And if they don't take you seriously, keep going somewhere until you find somebody that's religious. Now, in my case, I just came here. All the priests I knew were in Seattle, so I did call a friend who studied to be a priest, and he was a shaman. So he came in with, holy this and holy that, and, sound tuners and everything else, and cleaned my house out. And, the old fashioned way, see, the Filipinos take the holy water, they just swing it around the house, in the name, and so this is stuff that you can do. But if you are experiencing some type of infestation or something that is following you, you don't know if it's in the house, if it's something that follows you or your family, or if you provoke something by having dark energy or negative things in your house, you need to get help. Don't think you can talk to this thing and make it go away. Sometimes you don't want to make friends with evil entities or ghosts. You may not want to make friends with them. May not be a good thing. So don't talk to them and try to be the best friend, because they're misplaced or displaced, and whether it's demonic or whether it's somebody that's floating in between two worlds, you just don't know. So the safest thing to do is to get help. Either go to a church, or just get, find somebody on the internet or something that is referred, that is specializing in these sort of cleansings, or eliminations. But it's not something to play with. It's not something that's cute or fun. It could be something that can really mess with your mind, mess with your mental health, mess with the safety and the calmness and the peace of your family. So you want to do something drastic to get them back into another world, out of this world, out of your house.
Yeah, and I thought I bought an older home, as you know, and remodeled the main floor. But the original owner who we bought it from still alive, so can't be haunting from that family. So I'm hoping I don't encounter any of these paranormal activities.
Yeah.
So for now, otherwise, I'm gonna have to sell my house and move.
I know, I know you do. Another thing too, we put praise music on. We put praise music on loud and strong, and that stuff just leaves. So Daniel said here that the ghost was actually walking all over his bed. And Linda was fast asleep during this, and she was asleep when I called her name, but she didn't even budge. So Daniel was haunted by a ghost that was walking across his bed.
And it wasn't his cat, Linda. She's not a good watch cat then.
Wow, man, it's something, because they could be. I mean, I thought I saw my dead dog at the foot of my bed, and she was comforting. I didn't want to get rid of her, But I mean, there are all different instances. But if it keeps you up, if it distracts you, if it scares you, if you feel like somebody's watching you that shouldn't, this isn't something that you want to just say, hey, they're Casper the Friendly Ghost, and I got a ghost friend. That's not what they're here for.
I'm going to a hotel. That's what I'm doing. In a new hotel, not an old creepy mansion hotel, the Airbnb. I wanted to talk to you real quick. We have a few minutes. I have a few. Daniel, you never got that? Can you see if he responds? Did he get that? He never got the PowerPoint, because there are some cool homes. Okay. Just a few for real, for sale, haunted houses. The Silence of the Lambs house in Pittsburgh. It's a 1910 Victorian home, 2,400 square feet, 1.5 acres. The basement from the Silence of the Lamb movie, where all the bodies were going, probably gone. But you can buy this house for $300,000. How about that? And then the Dakota house, you remember in New York City, where John Lennon and Yoko Ono still lives there. He was murdered outside the Dakota house. And the Rosemary's Baby, that movie, was filmed there. Mia Farrow, that one. All creepy to me. $14.5 million, you can have this hotel. Neverland Ranch, now called Sycamore Valley Ranch. That is Michael Jackson's
Wow.
ranch. He moved out in 2005. The Ferris wheel is gone. A 12,000 square foot home, over 2,700 acres,
Wow.
for only $100 million.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then JP Morgan, great camp. You know, he in upstate New York. He's the General Electric and U.S. Steel, the financial magnate. You know, and if you wanted to film another episode of Friday the 13th, you can buy this thing for $2.95 million.
Oh, nice.
And then the last one, probably my favorite, is Jeffrey Dahmer's boyhood home in Ohio.
Stunning.
Where he killed and dismembered his first victim.
Wow. Wow. You too can be a purchaser and buy a home buyer.
Yeah, if you want that house, and people from PETA wanted it because they know that, you know, can't have any meat around that house. It's got to be a vegan thing because of what had happened at that house. PETA, you know, the animal folks. And so it was, they couldn't do it. Something happened. They couldn't buy it, but you could buy it for $295,000.
Oh my goodness.
How's that?
It's a steal.
That's it. That's what I got for our actual haunted houses that are for sale.
Well, let me go ahead and go over these announcements really quick. DJ Smooth Tea will be passing out candy and playing music tonight for trick-or-treaters outside the Columbia City Theater. So make sure you're there. We are broadcasting the first round of state playoffs this Friday at 5 p.m. Shorecrest at O'Day, and the series finale of Seattle Here and Now is this Thursday at 6 p.m. John Yusataki, I know John, so I'm sorry if I remember your name, is moving to Portland and will end his show. So John, such a pillar in the community here for many, many years.
God.
So yeah, so congratulations and and peace and love to you. Yes, much success. So anyways, thank you everybody. You be safe out there tonight.
Yes, enjoy Halloween, and we'll see you next week when it's a little bit more normal, not paranormal, just normal. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
And I'm Tina Lombard with Bank of England Mortgage. See you next time.
Bye.